Did you know that there are very valuable life lessons you can learn from your dog? And if you do not own a dog, you can also just learn it from dogs in general because they have such wisdom that transcends language, that transcends words. And I was really inspired to make this content and share with you the life lessons that I believe we can learn from dogs because I went to something called puppy yoga over the weekend, and it was like the love at first sight. And even though I was allergic and I had to leave 20 minutes early, I feel like I got a very good experience and learned and observed things that us humans can learn from dogs. And I think we absorb this knowledge just by being around pets, which is why maybe we love them so much, right? So anyways, if you're new here, welcome. This is the style of content that I make. I paint as I talk. The first lesson that I really saw we can learn from dogs is unconditional love, because dogs have such unconditional love, and it's not an easy thing, okay? I'm not saying it's easy to love someone unconditionally. It's one of the hardest things to do because we're all humans, right? We all have our own desires, we all have our own needs, we all have our own expectations of ourselves, of others, of the world. But if we really look at the way that animals are, they kind of, especially dogs, I mean, cats are another topic that's, but dogs, they love you unconditionally. They walk up to you and you can feel this love. And when I went to puppy yoga and I picked up the first puppy, like basically it was just a lot of puppies from a litter that they were foster puppies, and they were just running around as we were doing yoga. And as I picked up the first puppy, I was like, this is love at first sight. I felt so much love in my heart, and you could probably even see the picture, my pupils are dilated because I was like in love with that dog. But we love them so much because they love us. They radiate this unconditional presence. And the way we can learn to embody this as people is simply by learning to not judge others and learning to understand that we are humans, and loving others unconditionally starts with loving yourself unconditionally. You will only treat others the way that you treat yourself. Unconditional love is really something that you kind of get to once you learn to get past yourself, once you get out of your own ego, and once you can understand that your desires are valid to be there, but you don't have to let them drive your life. So learning to love someone without expectations is really about detaching from yourself and detaching from them and releasing the need for yourself. And that can only be achieved once you feel secure within yourself, once you feel like your needs are met, and once you feel like you don't need anything from anybody. It's about acceptance. Unconditional love is about accepting yourself, accepting others the way that they are. I do think that love is just acceptance. It's not expecting people to be a certain way. It's not wanting them to change. It's not wanting yourself to change. It's loving them the way that they are and just saying that, I see you and you are okay. And, even when it comes to like relationships or whatever else, like anything that you love, if you love it, you let it go, because it's not love to constantly try to control someone. It's not love to try to get them to be with you or to try to have something. That's not love. That's attachment, and that's conditional. Unconditional love is when you let it all go and you say, what? I want what is best for this thing. I want what is in the best interest of this person, of this thing, because I love it with all my heart, and it doesn't matter what it wants, because this thing's happiness is my happiness. So when you love it unconditionally, you can kind of just say, I want what's best for you, whatever that looks like. And even if that is not with you, you can love that person, that thing, because you understand that them being happy is what matters, okay? So sometimes I see people that they try to control their relationship. They're like, oh my God, I love this person, but like they're cheating on me, they're doing this, they're doing that, I'm worried, what if they don't love me? Listen, you don't love them if you think that. You think you love them, but if you really love someone, you want what's best for them. So if they're gonna have to go cheat, maybe they don't even want to be with you. So like, why would you want them with you, right? Like, people should be with other people because they want to be, because they want to be happy, right? So again, unconditional love is not judging the other person, is not expecting them. It's just like, okay, if you're happy, then I trust that's what's best for you, and I'm okay with that. And then it's not projecting your own, oh my God, I just ruined my painting. It's not projecting your own ego. It's not projecting your own insecurities onto them, because a lot of the times, like, your own expectations, your own fears, like, you project it onto the other person. It's about understanding that you have these feelings because of you. We project things onto other people all the time, and it's about becoming aware of that and consciously choosing to see that, yes, you might feel scared, yes, you might feel things, but it's yours. It has nothing to do with the other person, and you get to choose to love them anyways, to love them regardless of how they are, because you just do. Doesn't mean tolerate things, it just means you validate that their beingness, that their experience, that their creation serves a purpose on this planet, and it's not your job to control it. It's not your job to change it. It's just your job to love it and accept it and validate it, and just see that there is different kind of experiences, different type of people, different type of things on this earth, and it makes for a whole experience. Like, when I was in this puppy yoga too, I arrived early, like 20 minutes early, because I'm early everywhere. So I arrived like 20 minutes early to the class, and I was just sitting on the yoga mat, and there were puppies already, but they were still in the cage, not cage, the crate, I don't know, they were still like fenced up. And I went up to one of them, and there were two puppies in that specific section, and one of them was very chill, and the one was rowdy. He was woofing, he was like making noises, he was jumping, he was like rowdy. And the woman in charge, the one who was like a volunteer who's in charge of the puppies, she's like, oh, this guy is a troublemaker, like, he's loud, he's always gonna make trouble. And I said, you know what, but it's good, you need balance. Like, it adds to the experience of life, right? Like, it's fun to have some of that disruption in the pattern, right? Like, it adds to the experience. Like, every single thing is valid. The other puppy was also so lovable and like so cute and so like calm and peaceful, and they each had their own personalities, just like people. But I literally thought of it like, I loved both of them. I loved the calm puppy, and I loved the rowdy puppy, because I'm like, it's just a balance. It adds, and sometimes it's necessary to have a little bit of chaos, a healthy chaos, because it can stir things up and sometimes propel the forward movement. It can break the old patterns, it can break the chains. So everything serves a purpose. I don't remember why I said this, but I just wanted to share this quick little thing that I feel like is important when it comes to unconditional love. It's just that, everything serves a purpose. It may not seem like it. It may sometimes be annoying, because one of them literally tried chewing on my hair. He tried chewing on my phone. And it's funny because I got allergic to the puppies like 40 minutes into the class, and I was like itching. And I was like, I went to the bathroom hoping like if I wash off, maybe it will help. And I come back, and one of the puppies decided that my yoga mat is a bathroom. And I was like, this is a confirmation, I need to go. So, it's like, sometimes, yes, it's annoying, but the fact that the puppy literally went to the bathroom on my yoga mat was just a confirmation for me that, yeah, I should go, because my allergies are kicking in, so, and I just, I left, which, by the way, it's not that bad. It's just, if I touch them, my skin gets itchy. So I went, I got a spray for it, and I was okay. I am gonna do it again, despite the fact that I'm allergic, because I love puppies so much. Next lesson is forgiveness, which kind of follows from this one, because sometimes we humans, we have a hard time forgiving, especially if you've been hurt by someone, and you're like, or forgiving yourself. You're like, how can I forgive myself? How can I forgive others? You forgive because, again, you have compassion and you have understanding that it's not really about you. People do the best they don't know how to do from the level of consciousness they are at. If they knew better, they would do better, right? If people knew how to be more kind, be more loving, if they loved themselves, they would not be the way that they are. So you forgive because you understand that that version of you or that person simply is doing their best, okay? They're not doing it from an evil place. And even if they are, it's just because they're hurting. I do think that most of it, like, evilness is not born, it's created from hurt. So things that are evil, they just want love, and they don't know how to get it. And sometimes maybe people want to hurt you because they're hurting, and they hope that if they hurt you, they will feel less alone. So we can have compassion for that and forgive, because we understand that it's coming from a wounded place. place. It's coming from a place of wanting love, and we're not going to solve that by sending more hate. You know what I mean? So it's not always easy. And by the way, forgiveness does not mean you let them walk all over you. It does not mean you don't learn your lesson. It does not mean you tolerate things. It's a very big difference. You can forgive and not forget. There are certain things that happened with people that I was like, you know what? I had a hard time getting over this, but once I did get over it, it's not like I'm gonna go back to being in contact with this person. It's not like I'm gonna speak and be best friends with them again, but I also don't have to be mad at them because forgiveness is really about you. It's not about the other person, because it's like there's something that Jen Sincero said in one of her books, is that being angry, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It's like, no, you know, being angry is just hurting you because you're the one carrying that emotion, not the other person. So forgiveness is really about you. It's not about the other person. But again, if you see puppies too, like even if you scold them, they literally just forget about it and move on. And it's because they love you anyways. It's because they love you, and that's really all that they are. And I feel like it's, you know, very different, because for them it's a state of being, it's a state of presence. Is not so much like something that you understand rationally. So, but we can also explain this rationally. The next lesson we can all get from puppies and dogs is being grateful for the little things, right? If you see a dog and you give him a treat, like he's gonna be so happy, he's gonna be overjoyed, right? And you will want to give him more treats because you want to make the dog happy, right? So when you give the dog something that's like small, it appreciates it, right? It appreciates food, it appreciates treats, it appreciates playing. It's just grateful and present, and we don't think about that. We're just like, oh, dogs are just happy, but they're enjoying the moment, they're grateful. And I think it's something we can all learn, because a lot of the times we take stuff for granted, and I do feel like being happy is really found in just being grateful for the little things. Because, you know, yes, things can always be better, but you know, you already have a lot to be grateful for. Even this body, even the fact that you can hear and or see me, and you have a device to do so on, is already something to be grateful for. And you know, it's funny because the more you're grateful, the more you get stuff to be grateful for, right? Because, you know, if you think about it, if you gave a dog a treat, like a small treat, and it just turned its nose and was like, oh, it's too small, I don't want it, right? Like, give me a bigger bone. If it didn't take the small bone, you'd be like, what's wrong with this dog? Like, I don't even want to give him more things, because, like, you know, it's kind of like you want the stuff that you give to be appreciated. When something appreciates it, you want to give more because it feels good. Like, giving feels good. It feels good to receive, but it feels good to give too. Like, both things feel good. So you want to be grateful for everything you receive in life, because life is going to give you more to be grateful for, you know? It's just how that works. The next lesson we can learn from dogs is stay curious, you know? And I'm gonna actually expand on this, because if you look at puppies, they're always curious. They're always like, what is this? How does this work? They just look around, they just observe. They don't really get attached so much to the details or thinking that they know everything. They're just curious, they're just present, they're just exploring. And we can learn that, because sometimes we think we know all the answers. Sometimes we actually get worried and stuck in our heads because we're like, oh, it's already not gonna work. I already know this. And we're kind of in our own egos thinking that we know all the answers, but we really don't. So just like staying curious, and I'm going to expand on this and say that, like, treating life as an experiment and saying, I wonder what happens if, I wonder if this can work. You know, it's like entertaining the dream, entertaining the reality you wish to experience, and just going with, you know what, I wonder what if. Like, just kind of not taking it so seriously, not thinking you know everything that needs to happen, but just stay curious. Like, okay, interesting. This happened. What's next? What if this happens? What if that happens? Kind of like detach and just be neutral and be like, interesting. Okay, I wonder what this means. Even with stuff that happened in your past, be curious. Don't be so charged, like emotionally charged, because it's like the emotional charge, sometimes we get carried away because, again, it's ego, right? Ego is very emotionally charged. Our soul, our spirits, our hearts are really not that charged. So if you're feeling emotionally charged about something, just like say, okay, I understand this, I feel this feeling, but like, just be curious about it. Be curious about everything. Be curious about yourself, about what you're feeling, about what is happening, about what is possible, and just approach life that way. Just explore and experience and just see what happens. And I think it's one of the best gifts that you can give to yourself. I had to write all of these down because there's no way I would remember. And last one, which is maybe the most important one, is living in the present moment. Just being present and enjoying yourself and enjoying life, because you understand that this life is fleeting. You know, we're not going to have this life forever, and we're really here to experience it fully and to be present. And if you look at puppies, like, they just run around. They're just so happy. They're just these like creatures that just like enjoy each and every second for the experience of being on earth, right? Because like, you're here on earth, you have this body, you have this experience, and you're not going to ever have this experience ever again. So like, experience it, observe it, be happy, be present, and live in the present moment, because dogs are not concerned with the future. And of course, yes, as humans, we have to be practical. We do need to turn our brains on a little bit. We have to plan for the future, blah, 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 all the human things. But outside of the human things, right, you don't have to always do that. Like, you're not always required to plan for the future or to always be in your head thinking. When you are relaxing, when you are enjoying, when you are creating, you don't have to think. So just be present. It's all about finding balance. I think we have overused our brains to the point where we forget the fact that we're not meant to always be in our heads. Like, this brain serves a purpose. It gives us an easier ability to be on earth, to create, to understand. But being in the present moment is just understanding that you are here now, and it's dropping into your body, and just not thinking, just observing. Just observing, just allowing, just accepting. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. Let me know if you guys would like a part 2 to this. This is a little bit different from what I normally make, but I wanted to share this because I really felt so powerful when I was in the presence of puppies. It was like their ego was removed. They were just this divine incarnate inside a creature. I really felt so much love, and just, it's very interesting because I would like a puppy, but I kind of don't want one because allergies, and also I don't want the commitment of having a puppy right now. So, you know, but anyways, it was just so deep that I feel like they have so much wisdom that us humans are kind of still learning on many levels. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you have any lessons that maybe you learned from your pets, if you have any pets, if you don't, maybe just from dogs in general. And with that said, sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one.